Hello students, in the last video we have discussed the transverse section of ovary. As we know, last class we have said that when we would discuss the process of gametogenesis, together with that process of gametogenesis, we have to study the structure of that gamete. So we have studied spermatogenesis, that is process of production of sperm in the males, and after that we have studied the structure of sperm. So today we would study another topic, that is structure of human egg. So, as we have studied the structure of sperm, similarly we would study the structure of human egg. Now, what we would see in the human egg is that it is oval or circular in shape with a covering that is called vitelline membrane. This is also known as the plasma membrane. So, the cells would have a membrane or a covering above them. Similarly, the human egg cells would also have a covering that is called vitelline membrane, and this vitelline membrane is actually secreted by the oocyte. So, when we would study here the structure of human egg, on the same side we would study types of membrane or types of egg membrane. So in the types of egg membrane, what we see that the first type is known as primary membrane. So we can say on the basis of types of egg membrane, the first membrane is primary membrane, which is secreted. It is secreted by the oocyte or either the cell. So those membranes that are secreted by the oocyte, they are termed as primary membrane, and we have two examples for that. First one is obviously the vitelline membrane, and second one is known as zona pellucida. In case of mammals, we have this membrane. And this is also important. Why? Because this is said to be the non-cellular membrane. So, here is an important point to be noted that mostly questions comes, which membrane among the following are non-cellular in nature. So this zona pellucida is non-cellular membrane because it is not made up of cells, it is actually made up of synthesis of this oocyte. So the primary membrane would be these two, and similarly the second type of membrane is called secondary membrane. So it lies just above the primary membrane. So just above the primary membrane we have another set of membrane that is called secondary membrane. This membrane, it is secreted by the ovary. So here what we are seeing, the membrane which is secreted by the ovary is called as secondary membrane, and we have an example that is corona radiata. This is also an important example. We can say it is a secondary membrane because it is synthesized by the ovary, and similarly we can say this is actually the membrane made up of follicular cells. So what we are seeing, the follicular cells which surrounded the oocyte or rather the egg, is actually forming a layer above the egg that is known as corona radiata, and it is grouped under secondary membrane because it is not synthesized by the oocyte, it is synthesized by the ovary. And the last set of membrane is called tertiary membrane. This tertiary membrane, it is secreted by the oviduct, or either we can say fallopian tube or uterus. Any other part than ovary which would secrete another layer of covering over the eggs are known as tertiary membrane. And the example is the jelly coat. And it is also important because this jelly coat is usually seen in amphibians or fishes. Egg of amphibians as well as fishes. Now, why it is important? Because as we know, in case of amphibians and in case of fishes or species, we would see that fertilization in them would occur outside the body in a medium, and that mostly that medium is water. So in them fertilization would occur in water. Hence, when the egg is present in the water, it requires exchange of gases, and for that they have a jelly coat. And also because that egg is an unfertilized egg, so it requires fertilization. So if there is a hard covering, the sperm cannot penetrate inside that egg. So that's why those animals would have a jelly coat for easy penetration of sperm into it. So what's the reason? For easy penetration of sperm into it. So we have seen there are three types of membrane. First one is primary, second one is secondary, and the third one is tertiary. Now what we are seeing in the human egg, there is a vitelline membrane, and obviously inside that is the presence of what? Cytoplasm. Now we would recall what? When we have seen oogenesis, what we have seen that in the case of oogenesis, when there was a division or meiosis rather, then there was unequal division of cytoplasm. That is important point. Unequal division of cytoplasm means here the quantity of cytoplasm would be more as compared to any other normal cell. So there formation of two cell cytoplasm is present inside one cell. That's why what we would see, some denser cytoplasm is seen at the periphery. This is known as exoplasm. Obviously, exo here means external. So, at the periphery, that is called exoplasm, and inside it is known as ooplasm. So, now we can see this exoplasm plus ooplasm is equal to the cytoplasm of the human egg. And in this cytoplasm, there is what? There is nucleus plus organelles plus very little amount of yolk. This is also important point that human eggs are alecital in nature. So when we would classify eggs on the basis of amount of yolk, we would see that human eggs would have very little amount of yolk. Hence, they are known as alecital in nature. So we would write here, they are what? Alecital egg. So now we are seeing the cytoplasm is divided into two parts. At the periphery, that is exoplasm, and in the center, that is called ooplasm. Now, due to accumulation of large amount of cytoplasm, the nucleus which is supposed to be in the center is pushed towards one side. So this is the nucleus of the egg, and hence it is pushed towards one side. Now we can say on the side where nucleus is present is known as animal pole, and the side just opposite to it is known as vegetal pole. So we can say there are two polar regions that would decide the axis of division of these eggs, or either the division of zygote. Cellular division's axis is decided by this, and it is also important. Why? Because the nucleus is nearer to the animal pole, so we would say the entry of sperm occurs by this side. So what we have seen, the sperm would penetrate or invade this egg from this animal pole. Clear? Above this vitelline membrane, there is another membrane, as we said, above it, and that membrane is non-cellular in nature.